With that, I'll turn it over to Tim to introduce our guest speaker.
My introduction is not going to be very long, so I'm glad to be here today, and it's my pleasure to introduce my direct line of supervision, my supervisor, John. I've been working at the Chamber now almost 7 years. A lot of great things going on, more things to happen in the near future, and he's here to share a little bit about that. So, John, the floor is yours.
I'm not stealing the notebook, I'm just relocating it briefly. Thanks for having me here. You know when you invite me what you get. So on your tables you have a sheet of manila paper. We're going to do a fun, very quick 15-question test called Do You Know Your Cape Girardeau County Events? You are vying for a wonderful prize at the end, I will tell you that, so I do come with a prize. If you need a piece of paper or a pencil, please flag down my lovely assistant. He will be more than happy to supply you with either. Notice, unlike your golf folks, I do give you an eraser on your pencil so that if you feel totally humiliated, you can change your answer. However, there can only be one winner, so I ask that you do this, give it your best shot, and we'll see how it goes at the end. I have 5 fill in the blank, 5 multiple choice, 5 true false. We'll go through them very quickly, and I started off with the hard ones and the fill in the blanks where you got to think for yourself. So here we go. By the way, at the end, I open it up for questions. Anything is game. Been here 20 years now, and I realize in that 20 years we've done some things right. I've done plenty of things wrong. Would be more than happy to answer any questions you have about anything. I will tell you if I can't answer the question based on information or that type of thing, but anyway, I'll open it up at the end. So let's blow through these, let's have some fun. You ready? Here we go, fill in a blank, number 1. Southeast Missouri State University recently announced the appointment of an additional Cape Girardeau area person to their Board of Regents. Write down the names of the 2 regents currently on the board from our area. Who are the 2 Cape area folks serving on the Southeast Missouri State Board of Regents? You can, but I only have 1 fabulous prize at the end, so. Number 2. In the November general elections, the people of our area elected a new state representative from the 158th, Cape, re-elected a state representative from the 157th, Jackson area, and elected a new senator from the 27th district. Name each of these 3 people. Who are our 2 local state reps, and who's our local state senator? All critical information that you as leaders have in your brain, accessible at any time, I'm sure. Number 3. Haven't seen any pencils break yet, so I'm taking that as a good sign at this point. In 2012, the County Commission used Chapter 100 bonds to secure one of the largest capital investment expansions in the state of Missouri for that year by a local manufacturer. Name that local manufacturer, and if you can, the approximate amount of capital expenditure in the area. Yes, in 2012, the County Commission used Chapter 100 bonds to help secure one of the largest capital investments in the state of Missouri for that year, done by one of our local manufacturers. Name that local manufacturer and the approximate investment amount. $38.26. Okay, keep in mind before you get depressed that the fill in the blanks are the hardest because we'll move to multiple choice later and then true false, okay? Number 4. In 2012, the city of Cape Girardeau became home to 3 new franchise businesses that are actually the first franchise location outside of those places' home base. Name 2 of those 3 for full credit. Cape became the home to 3 franchise locations that are actually the first franchise locations outside of those places' home base. Name 2 of those 3 for full credit. Number 5. 3 additional Cape Girardeau County manufacturers announced significant expansions in 2012, either in capital investment or jobs. Name at least 2 of them for full credit.
Repeat.
3 additional Cape Girardeau County manufacturing facilities announced expansion significant in 2012, either in terms of jobs and or investment. Name 2 of those 3 for full credit. And they have to be different than the answer from number 3.
Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
All right?
No.
Okay, here we go. Gets a lot easier now. Ready? Multiple choice. Everybody loves multiple choice. Then we move into the true-false where you got a 50-50 shot. So, multiple choice. Question 6. The unemployment rate of Cape Girardeau County is currently closest to which of these numbers? A, 3.6%. B, 5.6%. C, 8.6%. Or D, not really important. Current unemployment rate of Cape County, A, 3.6, B, 5.6, C, 8.6, or D, not really important. Number 7, Cape Girardeau County the Cape Girardeau Convention and Visitors Bureau is hosting a special event this weekend at the River Campus. It is A, the River City Music Festival, B, Tour de Cape Girardeau, C, storytelling event, or D, a ballet performance by Executive Director Chuck Martin.
That would be fantastic.
CVB is hosting a special event at River Campus. It's A, a music festival, B, the Tour de Cape, C, storytelling event, or D, ballet by Chuck Martin. Number 8. City of Jackson is currently in the middle of a process to improve its uptown area. This is the same state program that Cape Girardeau used several years ago. That program was originally started by then Governor Matt Blunt. It is called A, the Dream Initiative, B, Downtown Revival, C, the Inner Core Counts, or D, Urban Sprawl. It's all good. City of Jackson is currently in the middle of a process to improve its uptown area. Same one Cape used. Is it A, the Dream Initiative, B, Downtown Revival, C, the Inner Core Counts, or D, Urban Sprawl? It's all good. Number 9. Navigation of the Mississippi River has been in the news a lot lately because the actions of both Mother Nature and what agency? A, FEMA, B, the Army Corps, C, the Coast Guard, or D, the North Dakota Indian tribe called Cut 'em Off. Navigation of the Mississippi River. Been in the news a lot lately because of Mother Nature and what agency? A, FEMA, B, the Army Corps, C, the Coast Guard, or D, that North Dakota tribe called Cut 'em Off. 10. Almost done with the multiple choice. Hang in. The construction currently underway between Kohl's and Sam's is for A, a new Drury Inn and Suites with a convention center, B, a new retirement home, C, a new Academy Sports store, or D, who knows, your guess is as good as mine. Construction between Kohl's and Sam's is A, Drury Inn and Suites with a convention center, B, retirement home, C, Academy Sports, or D, who knows? All right, everybody caught up? Here we go, last 5, true and false. Now you got a 50-50 shot. We're increasing your odds all the time. Question 11. The Chamber recently received a contract with the Magnet organization to operate the Economic Development Farm for the area. Economic Development Arm for the area. Is that true or false? Chamber recently received a contract with the Magnet organization to also operate the Economic Development Arm for the area. True or false? I'm going to call it a farm. I don't know why. Number 12. Leadership Cape class of 2013 is just beginning. Leadership Cape is a program sponsored by the City of Cape Girardeau. True or false? Leadership Cape 2013 is starting. Program sponsored by the City of Cape Girardeau. True or false? Question 13. The end is near. By the way, you get to grade your own, okay? You don't have to pass them to your neighbors or anything. In the past fiscal year, question 13. In the past fiscal year, restaurants in the City of Cape Girardeau averaged $10.6 million a month in sales. In the past fiscal year, restaurants in the city limits of Cape Girardeau averaged $10.6 million a month in sales. Question, there's some eating jokes going on at the back table. Question 14. The City of Cape Girardeau and the Greater Cape Girardeau Area Benevolent Association recently invested in 247 acres to be used as a business park. Question 14. The City of Cape and Greater Cape Girardeau Area Benevolent Association recently invested in 247 acres to be used as a business park. All right, we have question 15 and then we have a bonus question. Question 15. The new Scott City Interchange will be constructed in 2013. The new Scott City Interchange will be constructed in 2013. True or false? All right, at the bottom, here's your bonus question that we'll use for a tiebreaker. Hopefully, in case somebody got all 15 right, maybe they won't get this one right. Who knows? Yeah, Skip, I probably should have exempted you, but we'll see. All right, question 16. Me. I am the rhythm guitar player and lead singer for a classic rock band called Forgotten Past. I'm a rhythm guitar player and lead singer for a classic rock band called Forgotten Past. True or false?
I forgot.
All right, here we go. Ready? Grade your own. Fill in the blanks. Who can tell me the Board of Regents? Go ahead.
Knutson and Meyer.
Correction. Jay Knutson and Thomas M. Meyer. If you put Thomas L. Meyer, we'll give you credit. If you just knew Meyer, that's fine. You count off one half if you only got half of them, okay? All right, number 2. Name our 2 reps and our senator. Kathy Swan, Donna Lichtenegger, Wayne Wallingford. That's kind of an all or nothing one, so if you didn't get all 3, I'm not going into thirds. Half's bad enough. So.
That's the only one I knew.
That's the only one I knew. All right. Who did we use Chapter 100 bonds for? That was one of the largest projects in the state for 2012.
P&G?
P&G. Anybody know the approximate investment amount? $300 million. That's correct. It was in the top 3 for investments in the state.
I'll be doing fraction math.
No, that's a half one. So you get 1 point or you get to lose a half if you only got half of it. All right, Cape is the home to 3 franchises that are the first ones outside of their home base. Does anybody know any of them? Bagger Dave's, home based out of Detroit. We're the first ones outside of Detroit.
Hot Shots?
Hot Shots, home based out of St. Louis. We're the first one there. Does anybody know the third one?
Simply Swirl?
No, but good guess. Wow.
Academy Sports.
No, there's a lot of those, unfortunately. All right, Philanthropy. Who knows Philanthropy on Broadway? First one outside of Franklin, Tennessee.
Interesting.
If you haven't been to Philanthropy and you have a significant other female in your life, you need to go and look. Cool place. Clothing, jewelry, yeah, they give back a certain percentage of their sales to local charities and not-for-profits as well. Christian-based organization, neat place. You need to go and look around. Cool place. All right, those 5 are done. Here we go, multiple choice, unemployment rate.
We didn't do number 5.
You didn't do.
Oh, I skipped 5, wow. Thanks. All right, who can do 2 out of the 3? Can anybody do 1? Ooh, Biokiwa does count, and I don't have it on my list. So Biokiwa would count. Nordina, which is now Monday. So I'll take Nordina or Monday, or Tuesday. NARS would have counted it, but I said manufacturer. but that's a good one. They did too. The other two are Spartak and QC. Spartak and QC. If you got two of those in any fashion, take credit. Steve Green gets a bonus point for thinking of one I didn't have on the guide. All right, number 6, unemployment rate. Closest to? B. We're right at 5.556 right now. Lower than we've been in a long time. A couple points lower than the state. Number 2, CVB is sponsoring what? Storytelling. Absolutely. That is C, if you just wrote down the letters. Storytelling. Yes, awesome. If you've not seen Storytelling event, I would strongly encourage it. It's neat. Neat stuff. 3, what's Jackson doing? Cape did it. What's that program called? Dream Initiative. A. Very good. Who's responsible for navigating the Mississippi? The Army Corps. That was B. And the new construction is? Academy Sports. That was C. All right, everybody caught up? Anybody got them all right so far? Steve Green, wow. With that bonus point, you're in tall cotton now. All right, true or false? Here we go, number 11. Did the Chamber get a contract with Mehner to do economic development?
False.
True.
I thought you already had a contract with Mehner.
Yeah, I did too. No.
You just got the new job, John.
Well, we've been doing it for 9 months, but we didn't have a contract, so we just got it. 12. No, that's coming up later. 12. Leadership Cape, just beginning 2013, sponsored by the City of Cape.
True.
False, sponsored by the Chamber. Chamber is a chamber program. And we all know that the Chamber and the city are different, correct?
Yes.
Yes. This goes back to Mehner basics. All right.
Same budget.
No. Believe me, it's not. All right, 13. Do restaurants really do $10.6 million a month in sales in the City of Cape? Yes. Keep eating. You guys doing a great job.
Like, let's see, I was about 8% of that.
14. Did the city and the Area Benevolent Association invest in 247 acres for a business park? True. True. At exit 102 on the east side.
I figured that was made up. So. Why have they called it?
15. Scottsdale Interchange will be built in 2013. True or false? False. On the drawing boards, locations being determined, no money right now to build. Nothing allocated, nothing budgeted. Steve, you still got them all right? Seriously. Well, I guess we know who our winner is. All right, bonus question. Am I the rhythm guitar player for Forgotten Past and lead singer? It's true.
Can you remember?
I got the bonus.
It is true. You can talk to me about booking dates later and what our playlist looks like. All right, so Steve got them all right. You got all 16. Steve's our fabulous prize winner. Just out of curiosity, who got at least 5 correct? Okay, great. That's great. All right, who got at least 10 correct? Oh my gosh, smart group. All right, did anybody only miss 1? Did Steve beat anybody by just 1? No. All right. All right, great job. Was it fun? Did you learn
Wait a
something?
minute, there's another question. Who believes that Green actually got them all correct? Another question, spontaneously.
As your guest speaker, it is not my job to question the integrity of your members.
What did he win?
Steve wins probably what he already has, but if my lovely assistant would deliver these, he wins 4 tickets to tonight's basketball game. So there you go, Steve.
Bravo.
All right, I've certainly got a couple minutes. There are a lot of topics I did not touch on that are hot in the news right now, so I'm open. Fire away.
John, Cape seems to be growing leaps and bounds. Yet every census, our population doesn't really seem to change that much. Do you have any thoughts or any reason why that is?
Yes, and I'd say a couple of different things. First of all, I think we have to look area. And it's something that we get hung up on a lot of times, especially depending if you're just looking at City of Cape. But what we have to look at is our area, because what you see being built in Cape and Jackson is reflective of what goes on in the entire area. And the reason I say that is, in 2010 census, there were only 13 counties in the state of Missouri that grew at least 10%, may have been 14. I may be off by one. But Cape County is one of those counties. So we're among fast-growing counties in the state of Missouri, but when you look at, if you just look at city limits of Cape Girardeau, then Cape doesn't grow at the same rate as a lot of other places. In the last 2010 census, the city of Cape actually added more people than the city of Jackson, far less percentage, and I think just a hair less or almost right at what Out County added. Then you also have to look at North Scott County, which we service, and Bollinger County, which we service, and Southern Perry, which we service. So really, you can't just look at city limits. You have to look at the entire area and what that growth is. And then the other thing is always the question of the university students counted or not counted, and even in today's world, the retired and the elderly community not counted and counted, and those things come into question as well. But it's a great question. But think area and always look area. Don't just look city limits. Yes.
10.6 million in restaurant sales. How many restaurants do we have in Cape Girardeau?
I think we're at 118 or 119 now, somewhere in that ballpark. And I'm not here to tell you that everybody in the restaurant business is getting rich, because you guys understand the slices of pies and all that kind of thing. But restaurant revenue continues to grow at a pace that has certainly outperformed basically every other sector, unless you want to talk about healthcare or tuition in higher ed. But restaurants here have just been a tremendous growth area for Cape and Cape County. It's a great question. Isn't it hard to believe, though? $10.6 million a month spent at restaurants just within the city limits. That's a lot of eating. So, all right, what else? Yes?
John, any comments on the land acquisition by the city out at Center Junction with out at
The 102?
South?
Yeah, let me say this. I think that is I think the city, the university, the folks that were involved in doing that did a great thing in terms of a win-win-win situation. The university's funding it, not making it go to a bond situation, so there's not interest. The city is choosing to use revenue from the aisle, which is everybody's answer to everything. Why don't you use revenue from the casino? Well, they are, in this particular case, to do that. What I hope all of you understand, and the more people that understand, the better that message can be delivered, is that is not purchased, nor will it serve as a smokestack industry location. This is not a heavy manufacturing, smoke belching, because there's no rail, there's no river, and some of the things that those necessarily have to have. But it's a perfect place for a business park that would focus on distribution centers. You are sitting on an underutilized interchange on I-55. And so distribution centers, light manufacturing, technology-based industry. The other thing that I know that the city will be very aware of is not competing with existing landowners for deals. They're going to look at setting out requirements of certain number of acreage minimum, certain number of job minimum, certain number of investment minimum, and or technology related that will have to use university students in terms of interns and that type of thing. So for its design purpose, it's going to be great. It's going to give us, our team, an opportunity to market property. Don't be shocked when that property doesn't sell for what it was purchased for, because in today's world, you got to be somewhere between free and $6,000 or $7,000 an acre to get anybody. And that's another reason that it won't be as competitive with private industry, because most of you folks that own property someplace else can't afford to sell your ground for free and make it work. So that's why the decision to use the money that they were using and the way that it was done is kind of a found revenue situation, and it really just works out, really works out.
Is it
Yes.
true that there's already been interest in that and people wanting to purchase there?
I will say that it is true that there's already interest there. I mean, people in this room may know things that that I might or might not know, and I can't comment any further than that, just because in our line of work, it never ceases to amaze me, all the things that I'm supposed to not talk about, and, you know, if I see somebody filling up with gas and they tell me all about it, so I don't know. Things continue to get out like that, and I understand that, but I can't comment on who. I will tell you that there is interest already, and I do believe that's going to be a very marketable piece of property very quickly. Yes?
Back to John's question about population growth, how does that impact our tax base and tax revenues in the city of Cape?
I would say that, you know, the city of Cape gets very little tax, the city of Cape itself gets very little tax revenue from real property. We've gone through this a million times. It's almost always, it's almost all sales tax. So when the area grows, Cape benefits, obviously, because a lot of the retail dollars are spent here. I think Missouri just did an article within the last week on retail dollar growth over the past fiscal year. You know, when the world, quote, came to an end in 2008 with everything that was happening from a retail standpoint and an economy standpoint, Cape only dipped 1 year in retail sales tax revenue, which is phenomenal compared to a lot of other places. I think the county only dipped 2 years, and Jackson may have only dipped 2 or at the most 3. So that part of the revenue, the biggest part of the revenue that the city of Cape relies on, benefits greatly from the whole area development, because people still come into this particular area to shop and do things. And the medical community adds massively to that, because they're a regional hub for lots of different things, and when people are here, they stay here and they spend money here and that kind of thing. So go ahead, Jerry.
The great article today about air traffic.
Yes.
And air, especially passenger riderships.
Amen. And I actually, in my old test, had a thing in there about, it was almost kind of a joke, and I had to take it out because it's not a joke anymore. Those folks have done a great job, and I know how frustrating it is to be booked on that, and it gets canceled, and, you know, because when it's the only flight out, it's the only chance you got, it's tough. But they have been more reliable than, gosh, probably going back to Ozark. I mean, they've been more reliable than probably just about anybody else that's been there, and continue to stay and promise and deliver on what they said they would do, and they've been a great partner. So that is good.
We had some good times. We had 5 airlines at one time, you remember? So.
Yeah, it's been a little while. John?
John, just to be clear, that $106 million a month, that was just for the city?
10.6.
10.6.
10.6, and that is for City of Cape only.
How much sales tax was that?
Well, you take 1 penny on that, so you're at basically over $100,000 a month from restaurant business goes to, I think last year's fiscal total was 1.27 and some change.
Who would be number 2?
There are a couple of companies that generate a ton of general revenue sales tax, but I'm not supposed to say who the leading ones are. You could probably guess 1 or 2 of them. They might be the leading sales tax generator in a lot of other areas too. That gives you a hint. Yes?
What about the Nash Road, east side of 55?
Okay. You know, there are many successful, thriving businesses on Nash Road. People that have been here a long time that know what happens when we get rain, what happened in 93, what happened in 95, and they're comfortable with where they are, all of those kinds of things. But that one of those little organizations I had on my test called FEMA, that little organization came out with new maps. Those of you that are in banking or in development know what I'm talking about. But those new maps did an interesting thing with Nash Road property and basically took everything east side and west side on the south end and put it into a different category than what it used to be. And it put it into a 100-year levee protected category instead of 500 or better levee protected category, and has had significant impact on development opportunities there. Now you got to start looking at lowest level base flood elevations and build a foot above that. You start talking about fill, and Tim and I just worked a deal that, you know, fill can be anywhere close to $20,000, $25,000 an acre for fill. So if you've got a substantial pad for a building, all of a sudden your $5,000 or $8,000 ground is now the same cost as somebody's ground on on W or South Kings Highway. So I think for the existing businesses there, we're cool, and they'll continue to expand and do a good job, and I don't expect the levy system to fail. It's very well taken care of, one of the primary ones that they worry about from the Corps standpoint. For new people, it's been an issue for us for years and years and years, those that have come in and looked at it and have had some issues with it. So it's not undevelopable, it just is more of a challenge at this point. It's a great question.
Can you explain how the new circle is going to work?
No, I can't. Good luck. It's going to be interesting. If you're talking about the roundabout, hang on. Everybody know Chevy Chase European Vacation? That's what I pictured there, because I think it's going to be a dual lane or maybe even a 3-lane. It's dual at least.
Look, kids, Big Ben.
I picture being in there and saying the same, not being able to get outside and do what you want to do. If you've ever seen that, he's stuck in the lane for like 6 hours with his family and he can't get exit here. It's awesome. It's a great thing.
Where is that going to be?
We're talking over by W and Lexington, where they've cleared all the trees and they're going to make that, it's been kind of a messed up cluster for a long time anyway, but now it's going to be a roundabout, and it's at least a 2-lane roundabout. So it's going to be, anyway, you'll see, I think you'll see some Chevy Chase-like folks in there. I think it'll be interesting. All right, one more question. I'm past time. Yes?
The interstate between, from Paducah to Cape.
Great question. Funding secured to do the study. Groups Engineering, it's actually a joint venture. Little Egypt, it sounds like a high school, but it's a Little Egypt something JV.
What was the question?
I-66, Trans-America Corridor. Further than it's ever been because money has been allocated at the federal level through IDOT to do a location study. If that comes back reasonably decent, which most of us believe that it will, then at that point it gets you on a list and finally gets you into a rotation to be built. Current federal highway bill, which was more or less just a re-up, did say that they are looking for interstate connectivity and anything that they can do to connect existing interstates that makes sense, they'll take a look at. That would be huge for us. We have a bridge that is earthquake resistant that would connect 24 and 55 and intersect 57. So you've got the potential of 4 interstates involved in a short 40-mile span. That would be certainly worth taking a look at from a federal level. So, all right, listen, I appreciate it. You guys know where to get a hold of me if you got any other questions. Thanks.